Hello, everyone. My name is Lucas di Grassi. I'm a Forcepoint ambassador and I'm a racing driver in the FIA Formula E World Championship. It's basically, if you know about racing, is a single-seater Formula series, but only with electric powertrains, and all the races done with battery-powered vehicles. Many different manufacturers, many different races, and I'm currently in Mexico. We just had our last event, round 8 and 9 of the World Championship, and what I have here, the victory trophy. So super happy to have won the race on Saturday, our first win of the season. Very much needed in the right time. And when I talk about motorsport, when we talk about trying to accomplish victory, it's the same as if you are in a company. The same as, for example, if you are in Forcepoint. Everybody has to push in the right direction. The function of a motorsport team is much more than one person. It's not pretty much everybody just looks at the driver, but in reality, motorsport is a team sport. Again, like a company, everybody needs to fulfill their own role, from developing the motors to implementing them, to developing software, to driving, to pit stop, to mechanics, and so on. So I see a lot of synergies when I look at how well a team is developing and how well a company is developing. How is the missions? How is the vision? How are the goals of such entity? And to make those goals very clear, to make it um, easy to understand, and to be able to put metrics in what we're trying to achieve on a race car, like grip, like motor performance, and so on. We use a lot of data. We used actually software and data analysis, data transfer is a key point of our performance and our on our way to the victory. Why? Because a car has about 1,000 sensors, from tire temperature, slip angle, throttle position, motor RPM, brake temperature, steering position, lateral forces, longitudinal forces, and so on and so forth. So you're collecting all this data, processing. And in Formula E, there is actually one thing that it doesn't have in any other motorsport, which is you have to manage the energy in the race. So on top of driving fast, you have to drive fast, and at the same time, you have to manage the energy. And the software is doing that in real time in the race. And then in between the sessions, free practice and qualifying, we are collecting all this data and processing it in the garage. So this data transfer, the usage of data, 90% of our team is looking and processing data at certain time to make the best decision, and most of it is software driven. But what is very interesting about Formula E, and that's why the relationship with Forcepoint actually started and is currently so successful, is that in the same way that Formula E really shook up the market of motorsport by starting an electric racing series, was the first ever electric racing series, which started back in 2014 and had a completely new approach to motorsport. I see a lot of similarities when I look at Forcepoint with the human-centric cybersecurity approach. It's really disrupting a well-established market with a different approach to the technology. And with electric cars, it's exactly that. So um, we have been working together. Forcepoint provides, of course, all the data security of the team, of all the structure that we have. We have many gigabytes of data per event, per test, and all needs to be transferred back to Germany in real time. They process it in Germany, they come up with a better conclusion, then send it back to the team during free practice. So it needs to happen super fast, super secure, in the best way possible. So we have in the championship, of course, a series of races. The next one is in New York, is in the US, and it's the first time. It's the first series that races actually in the New York City. We race in Brooklyn, facing Manhattan on the background, and we had races there before. It's an amazing experience. I love New York. I love US. We already raced in the US, in Miami. We raced in LA, and for the last few years in New York. And yeah, that's it. So currently we are P13 in the championship. The championship is extremely tight, so there is very little points between first and 15th. It's very close. So I'm one victory from being on top of the lead, top of the charts. So we are working very hard. There are still 6 races to go, and next 2 are New York. Then we have London and Berlin. And of course, the aim is to win the drivers' championship, and to win the teams' championship in Formula E. And so that's it. Thank you very much for everybody that has been watching me, and from wherever you are, and everybody from Forcepoint that had a brave move to come to Formula E, to come to do this partnership with us, and to push the technologies that we needed to protect and transfer and store our data, and the whole team and the whole cybersecurity, all the IT infrastructure. So thank you, Forcepoint, for being with us, and hopefully you can watch the next race. It will be in 3 weeks in New York City. Thank you very much for your support, and see you at a later time.